Our flag has endured war and occupation, dictatorship and disaster, revolution and crisis, and still it continues to fly in the hearts and minds of our people. It stands before us now, not as a mere symbol, but a solemn reminder of the country that we serve, the people we represent, and the duty we have sworn to fulfill. Isa siyang paalala, hindi tayo nandito para sa sarili nating interes o interes ng isang partido o individual. Isa po siyang paalala na nandito tayo para maglingkod, buong dangal, buong puso, at buong katapatan para sa ating minamahal na inang bayan.
Of leading this institution as its second highest official. In fact, he has been trusted with the same position in 2007, 2013, and once more in 2024, serving faithfully until the end of 19th Congress. With his hard-earned seniority and accumulated wisdom from this chamber, he sees beyond political colors and alliances. Being in politics, what Senator Jinggoy shows us is that it is also in our best interest to be true in our dealings.
Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Action Update PH. Nagbabalik na po ng dahon ng pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Dito nga ho mga kabit, lumabas na ho ang resulta kung sino ang nanalo bilang Senate President at sino ang binoto nila. Dito po mga kabit, walang iba kundi ang Senate President noon sa 19th Congress. Walang iba kundi ito nga pong si Chiz Escudero. Pinambakan niya naman lang po itong si Tito Sotto ng 1925. Malaki po yan mga kapita. Sa nakikita naman natin, mukhang maganda naman talaga itong ipinapakita ni Chiz Escudero kumpara dito kay Tito Sotto. Kasi mga kapit, kung maganda ang naging pagtatrabaho nitong si Tito Sotto noong mga nakaraang nag-Senate President siya, iboboto ulit sana siya, diba? Pero ngayon mga kapit, pumili na ang mga ating senators na si Chiz pa rin ang lulukulok. Kaya mga kapit, nagsalita din ho dito si Kaya mga kapit, nagsalita rin ho dito si Senator Bato patungkol kung bakit niya pipiliin etong si Chiz Escudero kumpara kay Tito Sotto. Ayun mga kapit, pakinggan ho natin ang naging pahayag ni Senator Bato at ang naging resulta nga nitong botohan sa Senado.
Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, the Senate will now elect the Senate President pro tempore. May I ask this Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa be recognized to make the nomination.
Senator Bato de la Rosa is recognized for his nominating speech. You may proceed, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. It has been said time and again that when it comes to politics, there are no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, only permanent interests. But, Mr. President, the man I have the honor to nominate for the position of Senate President pro tempore proudly stands as a challenge to that statement. My friend, Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Mr. President, I am not nominating him for the position out of friendship alone. He has proven himself more than capable of leading this institution as its second highest official. In fact, he has been trusted with the same position in 2007, 2013, and once more in 2024, serving faithfully until the end of 19th Congress. With his hard-earned seniority and accumulated wisdom from this chamber, Senator Jinggoy is a leader who steps up and delivers whenever he needs to, right when we need him. He sees beyond political colors and alliances. Being in politics, what Senator Jinggoy shows us is that it is also in our best interest to be true in our dealings, transcending our self-imposed boundaries. If only interests are permanent in his life, Mr. President, then we ought to follow the example of Senator Jinggoy and treat authentic friendship as an interest. Together, we shall pursue what is best for all of us. This is his brand of leadership, and it is one that I can definitely stand behind. Back then, I had the duty of guarding and ensuring the safety and security of Senator Jinggoy while he was vacationing at the PNP Custodial Center. I can personally attest to the impeccable character of his person. Wherever chamber he may be in, his body may have been imprisoned, but his ideas and aspirations for the poor remained free. Sorry. Paulit-ulit, lagit-lagi, kagaya ni Pangulong Irap, para sa masa, para sa mahirap. As he himself puts it, he is indeed a man of conviction. It is therefore my honor, Mr. President, to nominate, to once again be our Senate President pro tempore, Senator Jinggoy Estrada.
Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, there are no other nominations. I therefore move that the period of nominations be closed for the position of Senate President pro tempore.
Any objection to the motion? Hearing none, period of nomination for the position of Senate President pro tempore is hereby closed, and there being no other candidate, Chair hereby proclaims Senator Jinggoy Ejercito Estrada as having been elected Senate President pro tempore. May I request Senator Estrada to kindly ascend the rostrum and take his oath. May I also request his family to join him here at the rostrum.
Mr. President, may I request my kid brother to witness my oath taking?
Senator JV is invited to ascend the rostrum and join his brother. Baka maiyak ako niyan, ha? JV, yung luwa po natin. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, please state your name.
I, Jinggoy Ejercito Estrada,
Having been elected to the position of Senate President pro tempore,
having been elected to the position of Senate President pro tempore,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will well and faithfully discharge,
that I will well and faithfully discharge,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
the duties of my present
the
position
duties of my present position,
and of all others I may hereafter hold
and of all others I may hereafter hold,
under the Republic of the Philippines.
under the Republic of the Philippines,
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the Philippines.
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the Philippines,
That I will obey the laws,
that I will obey the laws,
legal orders,
legal orders,
and decrees promulgated by the duly constituted authorities.
and decrees promulgated by the duly constituted authorities,
And maintain true faith and allegiance
and maintain true faith and allegiance
to the Republic of the Philippines.
to the Republic of the Philippines,
And that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
and that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
without mental reservation
without mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, the Senate will now elect the chairperson of the Committee on Rules. To make the nomination, I ask that Senator Alan Cayetano be recognized.
Senator Cayetano is recognized for his nominating speech. You may proceed, sir.
Mr. President, I'd like to thank God and thank our colleagues for this opportunity to nominate a man who, to many of us, is an untamed brother. When we agree with him 101%. When we disagree with him in a manner that brothers fiercely disagree. But one thing we can say is that he is always there for us. He is always in the session hall. He loves the work of building consensus. He wants the right laws to be passed. He wants to protect this nation. His record speaks for itself, Mr. President. So, Mr. President, it's a great privilege to be one of those who will nominate, but also to ask our people to not only look at present news, social media, judge day by day certain actions, but put Joel Villanueva under the microscope. And when you put him under the microscope, you will see that he is seeking to build this nation. He is seeking God's kingdom here on earth. And I think, Mr. President, we will be very productive in the weeks, months to come, having Senator Joel Villanueva again as our majority leader. Thank you, Mr. President. So I hereby nominate him as our majority leader.
Noted and entered into the records. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, I move that we close the period of nomination.
Any objection? There being none, period of nomination for the position of chairperson of the Committee on Rules is hereby closed. And there being no other candidate, the chair hereby proclaims Senator Joel Villanueva as having been elected to the position of chairperson, Committee on Rules. And under the rules of the Senate is the majority floor leader. May I now request Senator Villanueva to ascend the rostrum to take his oath. May also request his wife and family members to join him in the rostrum. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, please state your name.
I, Emmanuel Joel Jose Villanueva,
Having been elected to the position of chairperson, Committee on Rules,
having been elected to the position of chairperson of the Committee on Rules,
do hereby solemnly swear
do hereby solemnly swear
that I will well and faithfully discharge,
that I will well and faithfully discharge,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
the duties of my present position,
the duties of my present position,
and of all others I may hereafter hold,
and of all others I may hereafter hold,
under the Republic of the Philippines.
under the Republic of the Philippines.
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the
That
Philippines.
I will support and defend the Constitution of the Philippines.
That I will obey the laws,
That I will obey the laws,
legal orders,
legal orders,
and decrees promulgated
and decrees promulgated
by the duly constituted authorities,
by the duly constituted authorities,
and maintain true faith and allegiance
and maintain true faith and allegiance
to the Republic of the
to
Philippines.
the Republic of the Philippines.
And that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
And that I impose this obligation upon myself voluntarily,
without mental reservation
without mental
or
reservation
purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Majority Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this juncture, I move that we proceed with the election of the Secretary of the Senate. So move, Mr.
Any
President.
objection? Hearing none, motion is approved.
Mr. President, for the position of the Secretary of the Senate, may I respectfully nominate Attorney Renato N. Bantug Jr. So move, Mr. President.
Attorney Renato N. Bantug Jr. is hereby nominated. Are there any other nominees?
Mr. President, there are no other nominations. I therefore move that the period of nomination be closed. I so move.
Any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is hereby approved. There being no other candidate, Attorney Renato N. Bantug Jr. is hereby elected as Secretary of the Senate, the oath taken to take place after the session. Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, at this juncture, I move that we now proceed with the election of the Sergeant at Arms.
Any objection? Hearing none. Motion is approved.
Mr. President, may I move that we recognize Senator Bato de la Rosa for his nomination. So move, Mr. President.
Senator De La Rosa is recognized for his speech nominating the Senate Sergeant at Arms. You may
Thank you,
proceed,
Mr.
sir.
President. Mr. President, I hereby nominate retired Police Major General Mau Aplaska as our Sergeant at Arms. Mr. President, I know personally General Aplaska since we were both members of Philippine Military Academy, class of 86, but unluckily, he graduated in 1987. While our outgoing Sergeant at Arms, General Angkan, Bob Angkan, took a bullet for me when we were ambushed in the Compostela Valley Province when I was the provincial director and he was the brigade commander. General Mau Aplaska helped me graduate from the Philippine Military Academy and surpass our plebhood because we were both coming from the provinces of Davao and we both didn't know how to speak Tagalog when we were in the PMA. So wala po ako ibang makausap, Mr. President, kundi yung kabayan ko na Bisaya na taga Davao, and he helped me a lot in our plebhood. And Mr. President, it is my honor to nominate once again retired Police Major General Mau Aplaska to be our Sergeant at Arms.
Thank you, Senator De La Rosa. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, there are no other nominations, and therefore I move that we close the period of nomination. So move.
Any objection? Hearing none. Motion is approved. There being no other candidate, Police Major General Mau Renada Aplaska is hereby elected as Sergeant at Arms of the Senate. Again, the oath taken to follow after the session. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. President, we are ready to hear the address of the Senate President.
Bago ako magsimula, nais ko magpasalamat sa aking mga kasamahan sa patuloy po ninyong paniniwala at pagtitiwala. Esteemed members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the Cabinet, my dear colleagues in the Senate, both past and present, my fellow workers in government, mga minamahal kong kababayan, Diyos marhay na aga sa Saindo Gabos, good morning. As we open the 20th Congress of the Republic of the Philippines, allow me to begin, as I do every morning, with a prayer for serenity. If you're familiar with it, kindly bear with me. Lord, grant us the serenity to accept with patience the things we cannot change. Grant us the courage to change the things that we can, and most importantly, grant us the wisdom to know the difference. These words have comforted me all of my life, especially now, as we enter another turbulent chapter in our nation's history. These words also offer clarity in times of confusion and calm in moments of crisis. Of late, there seems to be no shortage of either. It seems our days are full of contention and conflict, issues that divide, politics that polarize, and partisanship that distracts us from our work. Some will say we are a divided nation, and that this is reflected even in our chamber. To this I say, in a democracy, disagreement is not division, and that debate is not synonymous with dysfunction. On the contrary, I believe that disagreements, debates, and disputes are evidence that our democracy is alive and well. For as history has shown us, democracy does not wither from too much debate. Rather, it dies from too little. In our line of work, we should not and cannot take things personally, especially in the age of social media, where every citizen has a platform in the palm of his or her hands. We should not and cannot respond to every comment. We should rise above any anger, resentment, and bitterness we may have. We should move on. We should move forward, and we must continue to do our job. We are here to serve our people, guided by our conscience, driven by our conviction, and emboldened by courage. We should not and cannot bow to a mob. We will not be cowed by the shrillest of voices. We will stand up for what is right, what is just, and what is consistent with the rule of law and our Constitution. That we disagree does not mean that you are right and I am wrong, or that I am right and you are wrong. After all, nobody has a monopoly of good ideas, intentions, and plans for our country, nor does anyone have a monopoly for love of our country. Just because I am not on your side does not necessarily mean I am on the wrong side. Let history be the judge of that, for hindsight is always 20/20. We are the nation's conscience, and it's the final check of abuse and tyranny of the so-called majority at times, unyielding to threats, unmoved by noise, and unafraid to say no if it is the right thing to do. And let me make one more thing clear, though. Yes, I may hold the gavel. I may preside over sessions, issue orders, and signal the start and end of debates. But this Senate is not mine alone to lead. The direction we will take will never be determined by a single hand, much less my hand, but by 24 heads, each with a mandate, each with a mind, each with a voice that matters. This is a collective body, and its strength lies in the balance, not in the banging of that gavel. While we come from different provinces, parties, and pasts, I have no doubt this Senate shall prevail despite the issues that have come to divide us. We have overcome them before, and we shall overcome these again. Throughout history, humanity has thrived on the rich tapestry of diverse perspectives, each contributing a unique thread to the fabric of our society. It is this mosaic of voices that brings innovation, progress, and understanding. No one perspective holds all the answers, and it is precisely in our differences that we should find strength. We must cherish diversity of thought and approach it with humility. We are part of an ever-evolving conversation where every voice should matter, where dialogue leads to discovery, and where disagreement can be just a stepping stone to deeper comprehension. Let us open our minds, listen actively, and learn from one another. Ang mga pagkakaiba po natin ay hindi sagabal. Bagkos ito ang nagbibigay saysay sa ating mga deliberasyon. And in the 20th Congress, as in those before it, there will be many deliberations and discussions, some more contentious than others. In these moments, I pray we choose to listen more, not to shout louder, to disagree without being disagreeable, to always be respectful, and to respect each other's opinion. To speak, not to score political points, but to make a point. And to debate, not to destroy each other, but to build the nation together. At the end of the day, we must work together to find common ground and common cause, to find common solutions to our common problems. Hiling at panawagan ko po sa aking mga kapwa senador, magtrabaho po tayo sa kabila ng ingay ng politika sa ating kapaligiran. Dahil lahat tayo ay nasa iisang bangka lamang, at iisang direksyon lamang ang ating tinatahak. Tungo sana sa pagkamit ng mga pangarap, hangarin, mithin at layunin ng ating mga kababayan. Every day, the Filipino people look to the Senate to come up with solutions that will improve their lives, address their needs, and bring their aspirations within reach. First, to put food on their tables, roofs on their heads, and sufficient paychecks in their pockets. To lower the cost of living so that each family may live comfortably and humanely. To open doors of opportunity, providing meaningful jobs and support to small businesses. To support the farmers who feed our people yet cannot feed their own. To write a national syllabus that will truly educate our children and prepare them for the future. To provide a healthcare system that treats the sick without bankrupting their families. To install a safety net for those who fall through the cracks and enable them to rise again. To safeguard our streets from the influence of drugs and crime protect our rights, and ensure that justice is accessible and served swiftly and fairly for all. To defend our borders, secure our seas, and uphold our sovereignty while maintaining cordial relations with other nations. To protect our environment, adapt to climate change, and shield our people from the ravages of natural disasters. To fight graft and corruption, restore dignity and efficiency in public service, and reform our politics. And, last but not the least, to lay the foundations, both physical and legal, that will ensure that every Filipino partakes in the bounty of development. Ultimately, every act we take, every law we make, must pass a single test. Makakatulong ba ito sa ordinaryong Pilipino? This is our duty. This is our mandate. At inuulit ko po, magtrabaho tayo. My dear colleagues, noong nagdaang halalan, iba't ibang kulay ang dinala natin. Pula, asul, dilaw, berde, puti, kahel o rosas. But as we all know, the elections are over and the last ballot has been counted. For the sake of our people, it is time we trade the colors of our campaigns for the colors of our country. In place of the colors that divide us, let us embrace the colors that truly matter, the colors that define who we are as a nation, the colors on the flag that hangs before us. Asul, sagisag ng lahing Pilipino na kakaiba sa ibang mga lahi, may dangal, may paninindigan, at hindi kailanman papalupig. Puti, sagisag ng pagkakapantay-pantay ng bawat Pilipino at katarungan para sa lahat. Dilaw na araw at mga bituin, sumasagisag sa mga mataas na mithiin, hangarin at layunin ng ating mga kababayan at pag-asa na dala ng bawat bukas. Pula, sagisag sa ating kahandaang hindi lamang mamatay, kung kinakailangan lumaban at pumatay, alang-alang sa kalayaan at kasarinlan ng ating bayan. Our flag has endured war and occupation, dictatorship and disaster, revolution and crisis, and still it continues to fly in the hearts and minds of our people. It stands before us now, not as a mere symbol, but a solemn reminder of the country that we serve, the people we represent, and the duty we have sworn to fulfill. Isa siyang paalala, hindi tayo nandito para sa sarili nating interes o interes ng isang partido o individual. Isa po siyang paalala na nandito tayo para maglingkod, buong dangal, buong puso, at buong katapatan para sa ating minamahal na inang bayan.